Welcome to GriffinTV's 19th episode this school year. Later in the show, we will show you the transformation that this club has had since the beginning of the fall semester. In today's news, we will have an interview with Neil Savoy, who was recently crowned the new Mr. Canisius this past Saturday night. We will also be talking with Brock Wilkinson, who won the presidential election for the Undergraduate Student Association for the second year in a row. And finally, we will be hearing students' opinions on the school stipends. As always, we will find out how Griff Sports are doing with Kyle Ferrara and Brandon Rudd. Also, stay tuned for campus news and events. This is Channel 19 News. Hello everyone, and thank you for tuning into Channel 19 News, your #1 source for news, campus events, and sports happening here at Canisius. I'm Christina Debato. This past Saturday night, 7 Canisius guys competed for the title of Mr. Canisius in the Montante Cultural Center, and the student body filled the seats to support all of their hard work. Gabby is in Studio B with this year's winner, Neil Savoy. Over to you, Gabby.
Thanks, Christina. Thank you so much for coming on the show, Neil.
Of course, thank you.
I absolutely loved you Saturday night. I thought you were great, you were awesome, you were so real, and throughout the whole program, I was really loving you as a contestant.
Well, thank you.
Now, I heard that you competed in Mr. Canisius last year, but you didn't make it to the top 3. What made you want to come back and compete again this year?
To be honest, I mean, like last year after not winning, I knew as soon as I left that I was gonna do it again this year, and I had literally thought about it all summer and all the fall semester, knowing that I was going to be going into this, and I really committed myself to winning, and I was just ready. I was in this to win it.
Yeah. The name that you chose was Mr. Politically Correct, #committed. How did you come up with that name?
As I was first filling out the application, I thought to myself, this needs to be student government related, but it also needs to be funny. Mm-hmm. And it was just the first thing that popped in my head that would somehow connote both things.
I loved your talent. I thought it was so funny. You sang the Les Mis, I Dreamed a Dream. Yes. And you were wearing the toga. We actually have the picture to show everybody. And also you had these pictures as you were singing throughout with such emotion. And you were a great singer. Did you ever participate in chorus growing up?
I mean, I had done it in elementary and a little bit in middle school. I stopped there, but I've always considered myself able to at least carry a tune enough to not hurt anyone's ears.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, how funny. And when you were one of the last 2 contestants standing, before they announced the winner, what was going through your mind at that time? Oh
my gosh, I think I just knew I wanted it so much. Mm-hmm. And I had been nervous about, I had felt really strong about the question and answer portion of the event, and that I thought that I had been genuine with what I was saying, and I was saying things that I genuinely meant. I knew that when they'd asked the question about the magazine cover, and I had expressed my own personal support for the passage of gay marriage, and I knew that that's something that the college could never formally sort of address.
Right.
And I didn't know if that was going to be something where it was going to be really hurt me, or if they were going to be able to see that that was my own sort of personal opinion, and that would somehow carry itself through. I was just so nervous, but I think that I knew that I would win. Mm-hmm. It's really weird. I don't want to sound a little too sentimental, but I had literally dreamt the night before that I had won.
Oh my gosh.
So, I woke up and I was like, I got to make this happen for real now. Mm-hmm. And it really was just such a surreal experience.
And you were so real in your answers, like especially during the question and answer session. That's really when contestants can show the judges who they are, and I felt that you definitely portrayed that.
Yeah, I think most people could see, and that I had heard after, that I was just like nervous. I know that I have this nervous tick where I'll just like play with this ring on my finger, and I was probably looking down a lot as I was thinking about my answers, but I really just said what I felt, and that's what worked.
Yeah. What are you going to miss most about this experience, do you think?
When I think about, I mean, the winners usually host, so when I think about, you know, my experience when that will come, that, you know, it's so much fun learning the dance, and the dance scripts are so funny, and they're so lighthearted, and, you know, they want to teach us this dance, but everyone, they're such strong personalities, you know, as we're learning it, and everyone just wants to have the attention on them. But I'm gonna miss learning the dance, and I'm gonna miss just participating in the show and like putting that thought into, you know, what am I gonna do for my intro? What am I gonna do for my talent? How is this all gonna come together? But I love it so much, and anyone who does it is gonna learn to love it the same way.
Yeah. Now, after winning the title, Mr. Canisius, I think we all want to know what is next for you. Do you really have any obligations, or is it just a title that you hold?
Oh my God. I mean, I guess it is just a title, but I really do think that it could be more than that. I mean, I know that I'll wear the crown at Springfest. I mean, I'm the event coordinator for it, so I definitely would like to, you know, make myself visible at campus events and stuff like that.
Okay.
And now, I mean, I don't want to rub it in anyone's face in a sort of, you know, immodest way, but definitely, you know, like, play it up for all it's worth.
Definitely. Now, one thing that you haven't seen is we actually have some behind-the-scenes footage. Kristen Warner and I, as you know, did the confessional video.
Yes.
And when you had won Saturday night, it reminded me of something that we had filmed previously. So I put this together, and they are answering the question on who they thought would win. So let's take a quick look.
Oh my gosh.
Neil is my favorite. He's my favorite. Yeah. Neil goes hard every single time they run the dance.
He's
every
hashtag
time.
committed.
Hashtag. My vote is Neil. I vote Neil. I thought Neil should have gone a lot farther last year. I think he deserves it. He's funny. He's talented. He can dance. I'm Team Neil. That's my vote.
Hashtag committed.
Yes.
Now, you were definitely hashtag committed.
Yes.
What is going through your mind after seeing that?
Oh, that's so sweet of them. I mean, I don't want to say that I deserve to have that said about me, but I mean, like I said, after losing last year, I just knew that I was going into this. I was not going in this for second place. I wasn't going in this for Mr. Congeniality. I was going in this to be Mr. Canisius. And like they said, I was committed to that goal, and it worked out. So it's nice to see that they could see I was working hard even in those earlier stages.
Definitely. Your hard work has paid off, and I want to wish you the best of luck. And thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me, Gabby.
Back to you, Christina.
Thanks, Gabby. Last Thursday, Brock Wilkinson was re-elected as president of the Undergraduate Student Association. We're joined by Brock today to discuss the race and role as president. Welcome, Brock. First, congratulations on your re-election.
Hi, Christina. Well, thank you. Thank you.
So it was a very close race. What do you think some of your strengths were that helped you pull ahead in the race?
I think there was three main things. First of all, probably the posters. I think the students enjoyed the posters. They thought they were funny, and they really, you know, they laughed at them. You know, they didn't laugh at me, but I think they thought I was funny. They saw some humor, and I think everybody likes a little bit of humor in a serious position sometimes. Second thing would be my transparency in the hallway. I think that by always like going around saying hi to individuals, it definitely helped me in the long run. And then third would probably be my prior experience. I think people saw that I have a year of experience under my belt. I've been on Senate since fall of freshman year, and I can really deliver some results on campus.
Yeah, definitely. So those were some of your strengths. What do you think some of the strengths were of your opponents?
Well, Speaker Hammer, he's currently the Speaker of the Senate. He's probably one of the most intelligent guys I've ever met. He knows Robert's rules like the back of his hand. And I'm really impressed by the way he carries himself, and I do look forward to working with him. And you know, there is no tension between us. and I definitely like the relationship that we have.
That's good to hear. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what exactly the president of the Undergraduate Student Association actually does?
All right. Well, the president of the Undergraduate Student Association, his main concern is being the voice in between the students and the administration. And basically, his job is to oversee the Senate. I mean, we have over 30 members on Senate that cover every facet of student life. And my job is to make sure everybody else is doing their job properly. And while I'm not doing that, I also have to attend administrative meetings and make sure that what is said there is communicated back to the students in an appropriate manner to make sure the students are informed of what the administration is doing.
Good. Definitely important for us on campus to know what you're doing. So what things do you plan to do differently than what you did last year?
I plan to work closer with the VPs, especially business and finance, because of the new Fair Trade initiative. I plan to work closer with VP of Programming Ann Cantinetti because of SpringFest, and everybody loves SpringFest. And speaking about it, it's coming up in about a month. I'm looking forward to it. She's done a great job so far this year. She must have done a good job because she's reelected. So I'm definitely excited for that. And you know, I just feel like working closer with the different committee chairs and the cabinets is really important, because when every single person is doing their job, it kind of makes my job easier.
Yeah, great. So what do you plan to do the same? What kind of things did you like you did last year that you want to carry on to this year?
This coming year, I'm going to hit the ground running. Not like Alfred State, though. But I'm going to make sure that our goals are set early and we set forward to accomplish them. And basically, I want to make sure I keep that lighthearted feeling that I had in the office all year. I think having a calm, collected vibe in the office, but also a productive one, really motivates others. And I think there's a lot to work with, and I have a year of experience, and I want to make sure that I can just continue to learn and develop myself personally as well. But I want to make sure that our team does well.
Yeah, that's great. So Eric Hammer was your opponent. Are there any of his ideas that you liked that you want to apply to this year?
His ideas and our ideas were pretty much, identical. We just delivered them differently. If you guys want to watch the debate, GriffinTV, you guys covered that too, right? Yeah, you guys did a wonderful job doing that. And if any student is interested, I really encourage them to watch it and just see the similarities between our ideas. And I want to make sure that everyone knows that Speaker Hammer and I, we really do respect each other, and we plan to work together in the future.
That's really good to hear. What kind of things are you looking forward to this year?
Well, it's going to be my senior year. I'm a finance student. I'm not necessarily looking forward to leaving Canisius because this has been my home. I love it here. But I'm definitely looking forward to making an impact. And I think as a senior with a year of experience, I'm going to make sure to deliver results under this position and hopefully leave a legacy. Great.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Brock. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but stay tuned to hear about student opinions on the school stipends. Stay tuned.
There was one day that we had just done the cardiovascular unit, in class that day. And then right after class, I went over to the Vascular Institute, volunteered, put the scrubs on. And one of the doctors asked me if I wanted to see an open heart surgery. And so I said, yeah, really? Sure.
I came into Canisius as obviously as a freshman, not really sure what I wanted to do. I ended up taking a digital media arts class, and that really just kind of jump-started my career.
And I think being where we are in the city and in the world with the medical campus that we have here is really an opportunity that I wouldn't have anywhere else.
It's more than just academics. Meet different people. Go out and do things. There's so much more to college. It's an experience.
I instantly fell in love with doing video work, graphic design. I started pursuing more and more opportunities in the school, whether it was doing admissions videos on the sides. I did a couple videos for alumni relations, the president of the college, and then I actually got noticed last year, and they sent me over to the Philippines to create a feature-length documentary.
I lived with the host family while I took classes in Spanish with Spanish professors at the University of Oviedo, and I was a Spaniard for a semester, and it was the best decision I made as a college student.
Welcome back. It's time to hear about student perspectives on the school stipends. Here's Channel 19 news reporter Rachel Firschbach with student opinions.
Hey guys, it's Rachel Firschbach reporting for GriffinTV. I'm in the library going around talking to students to see what their opinion is on the $1,000 stipend here at Canisius College.
I think that they should. I mean, we need leaders in our, Canisius College community. And if we have these people and if they're willing to have this role and to lead and do their job, I think that it's sufficient enough.
Yeah, I do agree with that, that they should get the stipend. I mean, I think it's important just for it to be a part of any type of economical situation especially that we're currently facing right now. So I do think it's important because it will lead to further advances, but it'll also be more of a conservative approach to handling financial situations.
I think really just the situation that Canisius is in right now, I don't know if they have the financial means to be giving away these stipends, especially because the school is just not in a great place financially. So especially right now, I don't think that they should be giving them away.
Well, there you have it, guys. Back to you in the studio. I'm Rachel Firschbach reporting for GriffinTV.
Thanks, Rachel. What an interesting issue. It's time to hear how our favorite Griff sports teams are doing. Here's Kyle Ferrara and Brandon Rudd with the details.
Thanks, Christina. Before we head into the Easter break, Kyle, let's talk about the big stories in Griff sports from last weekend.
Yeah, well, Brandon, let's start with Griff's hockey. The team made history by winning their first ever Atlantic Hockey Championship,
nice.
And we'll tell you about the road they took to get there. First, on March 22nd, that was Saturday, they defeated their heated rivals Niagara in a very tough battle, 5-3, to move on to the championship of the Atlantic Hockey Tournament. That game featured a strong effort from goaltender Tony Capobianco, who had 41 saves, and was supported by Tyler Wiseman's 2 goals, along with Ben Danford, Cody Freeman, and Duncan McKellar contributing a goal each.
A lot of people might have settled for an upset over nationally ranked Niagara, who got in a large bid to an NCAA tournament. But this team didn't sell, did they, Kyle?
No, not at all. They played in the championship game on Sunday and crushed Mercyhurst 7-2 to complete their historic run. And from start to finish, the Griffins had control of this whole game. The game featured Kyle Gibbons and Ralph Kademi having 2 goals each. Well, there were 3 players that had 1 goal. They were Ben Parker, Tori Lindsay, and Cody Freeman. Capobianco also had 34 saves in this one, who helped the team win. And after all of that, they have an automatic bid to the NCAA hockey tournament, riding an 8-game winning streak and going against #1 seed Quinnipiac in the opening round on March 30th in Providence, Rhode Island. That game will be on ESPN3 at 5:30. And they certainly have a big game coming up soon, Brandon. But didn't basketball have one last weekend?
Actually, they had two, but it was during the taping of our show. On March 20th, the Griffs started the CollegeInsider.com postseason tournament against Eon, which they won convincingly 69-53. This game showed Harold Washington being the leading scorer from the team with 19 points and 3 more players in double digits. Also, Jordan Heath had 13 points and 5 rebounds, while Sosa had 11 points and 3 rebounds, while Billy Barron only had 10 points and 7 assists and 4 rebounds. Chris Medhurst also chipped in with 4 points, but also had 9 rebounds also. In the second round, it wasn't smooth sailing as the team needed overtime to move on in the next round by beating Youngstown State in Youngstown, Ohio on March 23rd. This game saw Billy Barron come back into form as he led the team with 30 points, 5 assists, and 6 rebounds. He had help from everyone as everyone chipped in from scoring. Oswald Himes had a great game as he scored 19 points for his team along with 2 rebounds. They will face against Evansville at home later today at 7 p.m., which should be a great matchup. Kyle, how did softball do this weekend?
Well, the softball team had a doubleheader against Ohio on Saturday in Athens, Ohio, which didn't provide as good of a result as the baseball team had 2 weekends ago. In the first game, they failed to score, which led to a 4-0 loss. Jen Console was on the mound for the whole game, where she had 8 hits and 4 runs against her. The only bright spot in that game was Bethany DeMarco. She went 2 for 3 in the game. In the second game, they were a little bit better, but they still couldn't close the deal as they lost 7-6. Corinne Schaas was on the mound for the start of the game, but was later replaced by Console, and she left with a stat line of 7 hits, 6 runs, 4 earned, and 2 strikeouts. Console also let in a run and had 1 strikeout. But the batting was a lot better in this game. That's what's important. Infielder Alexis Roman went 2 for 3, driving in 1 run, and Bethany DeMarco went 1 for 3, driving in 2, and also scoring 1 run of her own. The overall record is now 11-8, and throughout Easter break, the Griffs will be on the road. A doubleheader against Mount St. Mary's in Emmitsburg, Maryland, and against College of Charleston on April 2nd. Also play Charleston Southern on the 3rd, and both series are in Charleston, South Carolina. Finally, they will play Ryder in Lawrenceville, New Jersey on April 6th. Let's hope they can turn it around a little bit and pick up some wins. But Brandon, tell us about how baseball's doing.
Well, it's been an up and down for the baseball team lately as they lost their first 2 games against St. Peter's on March 23rd, but won the 3rd and final game on March 24th. It was, in the first game, it was all tied at 2 in the second inning, but St. Peter's never looked back as they scored throughout the rest of the innings. For the Griffs, they were only one player who had more than 1 hit in the game, that was infielder Jose Torrealba, who went for 2 for 4 and had 1 RBI. Garrett Cartwright, who started the game, didn't stay there very long as he let in 5 hits and 5 runs and also had 6 strikeouts. The second game proved to be worse as the Griffs didn't score at all, losing 0-2. The Griffs only had 3 hits in the game and didn't get the ball rolling. Pitcher Devon Stewart had a complete game as he led in 6 hits, 2 runs, and 4 strikeouts. Their streak of losing will end on March 24th as they won 6-3 against them. Center fielder Mike Christian had a great game as he went 2 for 4, driving in 1 run, 3 RBIs. The pitching for the Griffs was better in this game, but they only let in 3 hits and 3 runs. It was a good enough performance to get the win. After that, their record is 15-7 overall and 1-2 in MAC play. They had a game against Buffalo today, while they had a face against St. Bonaventure at home on March 27th before they make a road trip against Iona in New Rochester, New York on March 28th and the 29th. Cornell in Ithaca, New York on April 3rd, which is a doubleheader, and finally Ryder in Lawrenceville, New Jersey on April 6th through the 7th. What happened during the breakout for the other teams?
Well, over the weekend, men's lacrosse only had 1 game. That was on Saturday against Marist. They lost the contest 13-5, and really the only bright spot in that one was freshman Vince Gravino, who's been a bright spot all season. He had a hat trick and an assist, giving him 4 points in the game. The record is now at 1-6. They're even in MAC play at 1-1, and during the break they will have 2 games to play, 1 away, 1 at home, against Syracuse in Syracuse and at home versus Siena. Brandon, it wasn't any better on the women's side, was it?
Yes, it definitely was, Kyle, as they also had a game also won Game 2. Unlike the men's side, they crushed St. Bonaventure 18-3 yesterday, March 25th. This game showed a balanced scoring attack by the Griffs as they played in both halves, putting up in 9 points in each half. We saw Tori Quinn take charge as she had a team-high 5 goals and 6 points in the contest, which was followed up by Morgan Leonard having 4 goals and 5 points, Maria Cotas with 3 goals and 5 points, and Lindsay Morgan with 2 goals and 3 points. The team also had 2 more players chipping in with 1 goal too. The record now is 6-3 overall. Kyle?
All right, well, that's all the latest in sports news we have for you today. Check out Brandon Rudd and myself on our show, hashtag Griff Sports, when we come back from spring break.
Also follow the show on Twitter at GriffSports19. This has been Kyle Ferraro and Brandon Rudd for sports. Back to you, Christina.
Thanks, Kyle and Brandon. Now for some campus news and events. There will be a pizza and jazz night hosted by the Canisius College Jazz Ensemble on Wednesday, April 10th from 7:45 to 9:15 in Penfold Commons. All students are welcome to enjoy free pizza and wings while listening to the Canisius College Jazz Ensemble perform an informal concert. Just 3 months before graduation, Mark Sterner drove home drunk and killed 3 of his friends. He faced 3 felony counts of DUI manslaughter and ended up in prison. Come hear Mark Sterner's speech, DUI, A Powerful Lesson, Thursday, April 11th at 7 p.m. in Montante Cultural Center. Mark helps students realize that the simple choice they make, like drinking and driving, can cause an everlasting impact on their friends, families, and themselves. Join the 2013 Canisius College Challenge to Beat Cancer. CPLD is hosting an event with Goin' Bald for Bucks and Locks of Love. Goin' Bald for Bucks is a fundraiser for Roswell Park Cancer Institute, and Locks of Love is a public nonprofit organization that provides hair pieces to financially disadvantaged children. Join both organizations on Wednesday, April 17th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. in the Student Center lobby to help fight against cancer. In celebration of our 19th episode, one of our lovely producers, David Goodwin, put together a video montage for us to look back on. Let's take a look.
Hello everyone, and thank you for tuning in to Channel 19 News, your #1 source for news, campus events, and sports happening here at Canisius. Gabrielle Walter.
I'm Brandon Sateski. I'm David Goodwin.
I'm Christina Devato.
I'm John Bassanello.
Hi, this is Mary Kessler.
I'm Robert Kreenen.
I'm Rachel Frischbach.
I'm Kyle Ferrara.
And I'm Brandon Rudd.
From all of us here at Channel 19 News, have a great week, Canisius.
That's all we have for you today, Canisius. Make sure to check out our YouTube channel and Facebook page. A new episode airs every Wednesday at 5 on Channel 19. Thank you for tuning in.